Congratulations to Sucker Punch for a successful release of Ghost of Yotei. As of this recording, from what I understand, Ghost of Yotei is on pace to, if not have already, sold about as well of Ghost of Tsushima, which is interesting because we've seen, especially this generation, that a lot of sequels have not quite hit the same highs as their predecessors. So for Ghost of Yotei to be selling pretty much on par with the first one is pretty impressive, to be honest. But one of the topics, or I guess one of the conversations that I heard surrounding Ghost of Yotei, because we had talked about like, okay, what is a sequel really? Why is everybody being like, oh, well, it's more Ghost of Tsushima? Like, why is it a knock? And one of the arguments that I heard that I want to get you guys' opinion on is people, I think, to some degree, are questioning the turnaround time, right? Of like, yes, this is a better game. Yes, this is a more improved and fleshed out game. And there's a lot more going on. But seeing how it's an improvement of what was already there instead of a drastic difference, why did it take 4 years for us to get a sequel?
That's reasonable because first of all, you got to look at all right, what was the life cycle
Mm-hmm.
of the first one? Because first of all, if you say 4 years, like bro, like why would you want somebody to sell your game like 2 years down the line? Like why would you? Because you're still technically still playing the first one. Because you got to think about this. Okay, the base game came out. Of course, patches over time. To layer it. Fix this, fix that, fix this, fix that. Okay, then the story DLC dropped.
Mm-hmm. A whole new
Actually, no.
island.
Actually, no. The multiplayer dropped first. Oh, what's it? One of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was the story DLC, and then you had the multiplayer, and then the multiplayer was a big hit, like Uncharted 2's multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes with a whole next thing, and then there was and there was a new Game Plus update. So yes, like the game got a lot of good quality of life
Mm-hmm.
upgrades. So of course, yeah, like they took their time with it, and they're also using that as data, like data, to say like, hey, okay, moving forward, this is what our people like, and this is what we could build upon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like look at this product. It didn't come with the multiplayer equipped with it because okay, we've seen what y'all are currently doing with the first installment and the multiplayer component. Now we could use this significant time to build on that experience. And
Right.
then look, there's another component attached to it. There's an anime component attached to it, which is extra good promotion. But then I think like no, that was good significant time. And then that was also the crossover period between PS4 and PS5. And then when the PS5 upgrade version came out, that's when you got all them different filter updates and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at this next one. All of that came out round one with so much more on top of that. You even said it yourself, like you switched that music over to one mode and you haven't gone back
I
since.
haven't. I don't remember what the original music sounds like.
Like, so like, yeah, it's reasonable time. Like, what are people really talking about? Because if somebody's going to sell you the next installment within the next year or like a year and a half, like Super Street Fighter 4, you looking at people like they're crazy. Like, why are you doing this? Like, we just bought. Da, 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 da. It's like, yes, like, bro, like, give them some time. Like, that was a good, significant amount of time to me.
I,
Like, to be honest, even when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay.
I'm a little bit in agreement with you. I do. I want to get Jory's thoughts first before I ask my follow up question, though. But I am kind of on the same page as you, Tim. Jory, what do you think about the idea of an improvement on the first one taking 4 to 5 years between games?
So it should have came out faster. That's what everybody's saying.
That seems to be the general pushback of like, if it's going to be more Ghost, why didn't it come out sooner?
Well, I think it was probably time. They probably took a longer time to figure out what story they wanted to tell. Are they gonna continue? Should they continue with the main character, or are they gonna continue? What type of story they wanted to tell? That takes time too. And okay, if this is the story we're gonna tell, so how are we gonna tell this story? I'm guessing there was a lot of time for rewrites, a lot of time for okay, we're gonna move in this direction versus moving in this direction. This makes more sense. Are we gonna do a Ghost of Yotei 3? If we are, okay, maybe we don't want to put this in this game. Let's go ahead and save this for this. So I think it was just time for them to actually improve on making sure the game comes out smoother than what probably the first Ghost of Tsushima was. I think that's a reasonable time. If they took their time to make sure they get something concrete and solid, I think that's enough reason. They were going to use some of the assets over again,
Mhm.
um, which is smart, right? That's why you build these assets to be this way. If you're going to do part one, part two, and part three,
Right.
okay, so you make sure that everything is movable, everything can transfer easier. I think if this gives them time to plan better, strategize better, and get a more complete product. So I don't you give everybody time they need. How do we avoid burnout from last time? Okay, so let's okay. That's why it took that long.
Yeah.
We wanted to work smarter, not harder.
I mean,
And I
I
think
I
that's
agree, I
okay.
agree with that point too.
I,
One of
I
the
think
things
that's
that I
okay.
kept seeing as a point, I'm like, I guess it's maybe it's just a sign of the times. Definitely a sign of the hardware. But I guess the supplemental point of that argument was look at what a sequel looked like back in the PS2 Xbox era, right? Of like Spider-Man 1, the movie game, and Spider-Man 2, the movie game are drastically different games. Or you take even something as from the PlayStation era of like the Street Fighters, all the fighting like Tekken 2 and Tekken 3 are like night and day in terms of quality, graphics, gameplay style. Where it's like I think people are like, okay, if we're getting those games like every 2 years and there were like again like night and day differences sometimes, why in 4 years can we not get a drastic switch up?
That's a little different because, man, you also got to think about it. Those games back in the day, as much as we loved them, the scaling, the overall scaling was much different.
Hmm.
Because first of all, technology back then was really gearing up very fast. Like, look, you had this on Sega Saturn, this on Sega Genesis, this on Sega that, this on Sega Dreamcast, and it was just repeated. Arcade, print the disc, this and that, this and that, this and that. Oh, this. It was so much going on back then. Like, and that's why I feel like yes, we have now hit a point where like hardware has come to a point where all right, we could rest with this a little bit more. But then, like how you said, it's the burnout, man. Like, because first of all, graphic overhaul, art. Like, because as you can see, this is a very beautiful game. Like,
Gorgeous.
bro, the art texture, the things that you have to do, coding and all that other stuff. Like, bro, that takes time. You can't compare that to polygons back in the day. You can't. Now, story elements, okay, that's a whole different thing because some of them PlayStation One and PlayStation Two era games still have some of one of the most remarkable stories ever.
Yeah.
But then the thing about it is, but then now you have a whole world connected to that has to look a certain way,
Hmm.
and you have to interact with it a certain way.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then like I said, man, it's like it's an open world game with a lot of stuff to do, man. Like I still people still seeing tweeting about, bro. I barely even fought the Yotei 6 yet. Like these side quests have
It's
just
me. I'm people.
taking
Like,
over my life. So, but then I do feel like it's a lot of rage bait questions today because, like I said, everybody's just trying to go viral for something. But at the end of the day, is you still playing it, right? You still playing it.
I mean,
You still streaming it.
not everybody.
You
Some of us remember we have somebody who's already platinum it. Somebody that follows the podcast, he's platinum it, which I'm like, yo, salute. One of my
I mean, but
friends
he's
beat the
still.
game in like a week.
But I bet you he's still going for all the dies, all the side quests, and then, like I said, the multiplayer announcement is going to come any day. So you're going to be right back there because with these Sony games and the DLC, as soon as that DLC update comes, you log on and see your 100% go down to 90.
Sometimes even lower than that. You be like 85%. What?
And that's when that no, we got to fix that. But honestly, man, it's a great sequel. I'm very happy for Sony. That was a well needed win, I would say, for the summer fall era.
The 1000%.
Um, and let's just see where that goes from here.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I don't really disagree with your guys' points. I think those were really good perspectives on why something like this would take a little bit longer. And I think it's just certain things becoming the new norm of like, listen, a lot of times we get a game sequel every 5 to 6 years, if we're being honest. So if they can get it under four, the fact that we're getting Final Fantasy, part 3 by like the rumor is 2027, is like, man, that's unheard of.